once said, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I believe that in no other sport this is more evident than in basketball. I am Dwight David Griffith II, and I am here to inform you about basketball. I have played 10 years of sports in my life, 6 for soccer, 4 for basketball, and 1 for baseball, as well as different sports along the way for a couple weeks. We will begin with 3 important aspects of basketball. 1. Basketball's history. 2. Basketball's some common rules. And 3. Basketball's finances. First, let's start with basketball's history. Basketball was created in 1891 according to history.com/Who Invented Basketball, published in 2014. In the first paragraph, it states that James Naismith, who was born and educated in Canada, created the first 13 rules of basketball. He wanted to create a fun and interesting game that different people, young and old, could play inside of YMCA's all over the world in the wintertime. At first, there were 9 players on each team. They would all try to shoot a ball into a basket that was nailed up on the wall. As time went on, they would cut the bottom of the basket out and replace it with a net, and later create a model of a modern-day basketball. Also, according to history.com/Who Invented Basketball, in the second paragraph, the first college game happened in 1895 between Minnesota School of Agriculture and Hamlin College. The first college women's game happened in 1896 between Stanford and UC Berkeley. After talking about some of basketball's history, let's move on with some common rules. Some important rules to know in basketball are pivoting, screening, and out of bounds. According to NBA.com/media/rulebook, published in 1986 and updated as currently as last year, under the pivot section defines that a player is able to move 1 foot while holding the basketball and take multiple steps without moving the other foot that is planted on the ground. As long as that other foot stays on the ground and doesn't move, then they can take as many steps as they want, moving back and forth. If the player holding the ball does move both feet, then that would be considered a travel. A travel is when a player takes more than 2 steps, either while dribbling the ball, which is bouncing the ball on the floor under control, or while holding the ball. When the traveling call is called, then the opposing team gets the basketball. Now let's talk about a screen. A screen, defined by the NBA rulebook under the screen section, is when a player moves into a position that stops the opposing player from moving without too much contact. The screen becomes illegal, however, if the screening player creates their own contact, such as moving after setting the screen or grabbing the opposing player when they try to get around the screen. The last important rule to know is out of bounds. Under the out of bounds section of the rulebook, it defines a player as out of bounds when they, or a part of themselves, such as half of their shoe, step over the designated line around the outside of the basketball court. A player can, however, move in the air and space above the line without touching the ground and still be considered inside. An example of this would be a player diving out of, jumping, leaving his whole body off the ground to grab a basketball and throw it back before touching the ground. If he releases the ball before touching the ground, then the ball is safe. If he touches the ground while holding the ball, then the ball would be considered out of bounds. When this happens, when someone is considered out of bounds, the ball goes to the opposing team. After talking about the history and rules of basketball, let's continue with finances. Basketball is one of the most popular sports in all of America, competing with football, baseball, and soccer, as well as other sports. One way the NBA makes money is by selling tickets so people can watch their NBA games live. According to Statista.com/average ticket price in the NBA, by a team published in January of 2016, the first graph shows that the average ticket price for a New York Knicks game is almost $130, a franchise that hasn't even made the playoffs since 2013. They also make money from advertisements that they show on their jerseys, as well as selling their jerseys. They sell hundreds of thousands of jerseys a year that can cost anywhere from $25 to over $100. On the official NBA store under Kobe Bryant, they have an iconic jersey for $260. When you add the ticket prices and jersey sales, the NBA makes a lot of money. This is just so since the time we spent together, I hope you are more informed on 3 aspects of basketball: history, finances, and some common rules. Wayne Gretzky has said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." This is just one of the lessons that basketball has taught people that they couldn't have learned anywhere else.